Okay.
Faithful ride with me. Red and gold, put it to the day I D.I.E. Reppin' Niner gang and it's all I bleed. Racking up dubs in my Levi jeans. And we run over the league with our whole team. Be that number one seed cause we ballin'. Putting in that work early in the morning. Super Bowl team and now these haters salty.
All right, welcome to IE Sports Radio. I'm Niners Jess, along with Ty Alston, Maddie B, who will be joining us shortly, and your girl Bex. We are the East Coast Red and Gold. What's going on, Faithful?
Doing well this evening.
All right,
How
awesome.
are you guys doing?
Doing well, doing well. It's Wednesday.
Doing
Happy
well.
Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day. Man. And I want to say a happy hump day to our sponsor, Planet Jerky. That's right, Planet Jerky with premium beef brisket jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Isla Storm Single A AA affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, it's low in sugar and high in protein. That means it's good for you. Once again, a huge shout out to our sponsor, Planet Jerky, the premium beef brisket jerky. The jerky that's on a whole nother level. And of course, the East Coast Red and Gold podcast is a part of the IE Sports Radio Network. And for the last 9 years, IE Sports Radio has brought you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure you follow at IE Sports Radio on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, the TikToks. It's everywhere. And visit the website, iesportsradio.com for sports news. And visit the IE Sports Radio blog, our Heart of Fame, the Fans of the Month page. We got dedicated pages for each podcast network. So thank you all for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
And if you want some jerky, it's planetjerky.net. All right. So, yes. So without further ado, let's welcome in our special guest, the legend, Damon Bruce. Damon, thank you for coming on the show and welcome.
I mean, we're just casually throwing the word legend around. No, thank you so very much. It's great to join you here on Planet Jerky. I mean, come on. It's my kind of planet right there. So thanks for having me. And as I was telling you earlier, originally being from Schenectady, I am honor bound. I am duty bound to join any 49ers conversation that bills itself as an East Coast 49ers conversation. So thanks for having me. It's great to be here. And I hope you're all doing well.
Yeah, we're doing great. And it's awesome to have you. Like I told you, I'm a huge fan. And it's just, I'm so glad we got to do this.
Well, thank you. I'm glad we got to do it too. Thanks for having me. And what a time to do it. I mean, if we're here to complain, it's going to be a really short show.
Yeah.
It's been so good for the 49ers, as good of a 4-0 start as there is in football.
Yeah, absolutely. 4-0, nobody should be complaining. We got our QB, we have our offense rocking and rolling, defense, everything's clicking, everything's coming together. We should all just be enjoying the ride.
You say no one should be complaining.
I was just going to say, they are.
Especially with 49ers internet.
Yeah.
They always find something to complain about.
It's in the nature of modern sports fans to do this. This is what happens when you just say, hey, everybody, you're allowed to be a restaurant critic too. And not everyone is really meant to be a restaurant critic, even though everybody eats restaurants. That doesn't necessarily qualify you as a restaurant critic, or where you bring personal bias. Like, the food was really good and the service was good, but I had to park way too far away. Only 2 stars. Yeah. Like, come on. Yeah. So it's good to be here with you. And again, I've been covering this football team for the better part of 18 years now. And I can't remember any season And I've seen Super Bowl seasons that has, after 4 games, looked as promising as this one does for the 49ers. Not only have they beaten some teams with decent pedigree, not only have they gone on to look very good themselves, not only has the league sort of broken around them in a way that I feel is favorable to them a little bit, but they're as healthy as an ox 4 games into the year, and there's been years where you haven't been able to say that. So just a fantastic start for Kyle Shanahan and company, and every single 49er fan, West Coast, East Coast, Midwest, North Pole, South Pole, anywhere, you got to be really excited about what you've seen.
Yeah, you definitely do. And now you mentioned how long you've been covering the 49ers. Before we actually get into team talk, I'd like to know what your favorite memory is.
Oh, God.
Loaded question.
Like covering the team or just being around the team?
Whatever you'd like to share.
I mean, the thing that I guess jumps just, there's no wrong answer, was the first time I went to a Super Bowl to cover it in New Orleans. And the 49ers lost that Super Bowl to the Ravens. I remember being at a urinal right at the end of halftime because nobody was getting out of their seat because Beyonce was performing, right? So no one was going to go take a leak during Beyonce. We wanted to watch that. So Beyonce performs, and then I run with 1,000 people to the bathroom. And as I finally make it to the urinal, you hear over the broadcast in the bathroom, like, touchdown Baltimore. I'm like, did they just return the second half kickoff? And you're not supposed to make eye contact with another man at a urinal, but I just looked at the guy. He looked right at me, whoever he was, and I was just like, well, that's not good. One of my biggest memories covering this team is at a urinal in the Super Bowl that the 49ers lost. Weekly conversations with Trent Baalke were certainly memorable throughout my career. Laughing while they drafted A.J. Jenkins and getting yelled at in 49ers headquarters is part of my robust bouquet of memories. But, the Harbaugh years were great. The Tom Sula, Chip Kelly years were not. And, I've been lucky to see it all. I remember when Mike Nolan came into the radio station that I was working at, KNBR at the time. This is many, many years ago. And Mike Nolan comes in to make nice with all the broadcasters. And there was this legendary broadcaster from San Francisco named Ralph Barbieri, who had a very unique voice and was just very forward and direct at all times. Like, Ralph was never off the air as far as Ralph was concerned. He was always on. And after Mike Nolan comes in and spends his, a little bit of his day with us, Ralph is like, "What in God's name are you doing here? You should be working on a game plan." Like, just the least what in God's name are you wasting your time on us for? Go and coach this football team. I remember that. That's a big memory too. But a lot of good times, bad times, some mountaintops, some valleys. Still haven't seen a Lombardi trophy. So waiting for all that. And I can't wait to see the parade that would go up Market Street should this team bring home a Lombardi trophy. That would be extraordinary. That will instantly go to my biggest memory should that happen.
Not should, when.
When exactly. It's like the earthquake out here. It's not a matter of should, it's when.
So are you surprised at all that we're off to a 4-0 start?
I am, only because I thought that the Steelers were going to be a little bit of a problem. I thought that the team was a little off course with the last minute negotiations of Nick Bosa. I could see how that might have come back and haunt them early on in the year. To take any half of, or well, let's call it quarter, even though it's more than 16 games out, 17, just for conversation's sake, to look at any quarter of a season and say, 4-0. That's wishful thinking. You're lucky to be 3-1 through any 4 games of any point in your schedule. I don't care if it's a break even, it looks hard, isn't hard, easy part of your schedule. Going 3-1 in any particular month in this league is a hard thing to do. So 4-0 is more than you could ask for. If you ask for 4-0, you sound greedy, just because that's not the way this league works, right? So it could not be a better start for this team. It really has been spectacular.
Great.
Jump in there. I'm not surprised. I figured they would pick up right where they left off last season, and they have, because they hit a stride. You can see it to a man. They hit a stride where they were like, this is 49ers football. This is what defines us. And this is the way we're going to play week in and week out. So,
well, and look, there's an awful lot of off-season actual anxiety. Then there's the manufactured anxiety,
yep.
And there are the reports of all that is wrong and incompetent about this team while they're in the middle of a second longest in franchise history 14-game regular season winning streak.
Right.
So it's weird. There's been mixed messages around an awful lot of winning. Some of them I do understand, because you switch quarterbacks 3 times, you're asking to overcome an awful lot. You overcome like a revolving door at your defensive coordinator spot. That's a lot to overcome.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some reason to be a little anxiety bound going into it, but then when it returns to the football field, you're just like, oh, you know what? All concerns, whether they be imagined or real, just sort of fade away when the game begins. And This is an ass-kicking football team.
Yep.
Yeah, for a lot of those same reasons, I'm a little surprised that we're 4-0, just because we did have a new defensive coordinator. Personnel, you always have that changeover with the free agency and so forth. And just those things. The holdout with Nick Bosa, I thought none of this bodes well for, firing out of the gate. But here we are, and it's great to see that, these guys come in and we're all about business, and we're able to just step out on the field like nothing changed from last year. So that was beautiful, actually.
I think it's a testament to the coaching leadership, to the player leadership on this team. They're just, they're very focused. They're very, very focused, and you can feel it. Like there's a difference around the team, around the building. There's just a level of no nonsense, to the point where, even trying to invent something to be worried about in that Arizona game, people are, well, it could be a trap game. They might overlook Arizona on the way to Dallas. And, maybe if Dallas had clobbered Arizona on the way to that game, that there would have come into play. I think, Arizona did the 49ers a favor by beating Dallas, and it just kept the 49ers totally focused on them. And they just look, but for a briskly executed half of offense in Los Angeles by the Rams, I mean, there's not a lot to complain about. There really isn't. So it's as I said earlier, it's as good of a 4-0 start as I've seen Kyle's team have in his entire tenure as coach. And I think it's the best 4-0 start in the NFL so far this year.
Yeah, I think this is, as far as starting 4-0, I think, this has 2019 vibes of how fast we've started.
Last time they were 4-0, they went to a Super Bowl. So there you go.
I think it's better. I think it's better than 2019, because if you remember the offense kind of sputtered. They struggled to get going. This offense isn't sputtering. They're firing on all, and we got the ultimate weapon, number 23. It's a huge difference.
He's incredibly special. I mean, there's no way around it. He is, to me, he reminds me of Kevin Durant, only because it's a level of, I understood that there was a great player coming to town, but I couldn't understand the greatness of that player until I got to watch them every game.
Yeah.
Like, I knew Durant was a monster, but you never knew how good he was going to be on his off night. And you realize, man, even on his off night, he's still money in the bank. Christian McCaffrey, again, on the plays that you never saw on the highlight reel, 2nd and 7 for a first down in the middle of the field. this guy's gaining 8 yards every single time. Christian McCaffrey not only picks up first downs, he helps you avoid third down. He's just such a chain mover. So he's incredibly special. He's been the skeleton key that has allowed Kyle Shanahan to unlock every door in the fun house. And it's awesome. It's awesome to watch.
It's a great analogy. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, CMC should definitely be MVP for sure.
Well, if he keeps this up, there's no doubt about it. It feels like the MVP has almost become an award reserved for quarterbacks only. Yeah. But if he were to continue to put up gaudy and overwhelming numbers, especially in a year where I think maybe some media members would like to give a little bit more love to running backs than they got contractually during the offseason, there could be a case to be made there. I mean, Offensive Player of the Year, right now, he's definitely the clubhouse leader in that department. He's been extraordinary.
So switching gears a little bit to Brock Purdy, I'm just going to throw this one at you. Is Brock Purdy elite?
Sure. I mean, how about this? He's begun his career in such a fashion to presume this early in his success that he is really good at this. There's a lot of data points returning that you're not, on some sort of false scent or anything like that. The best quarterbacks who have ever played this game have never quite had a start like this. Not Manning, not Elway, not Montana, not Brady, not Young, not no one. This is sort of an unprecedented start for Brock Purdy. And the only thing that has people reserving their instant opinion that this guy's super duper, uber duper, super special is because, he wasn't a first round pick. If he were a first round pick, people would be knocking him out with the bouquets of compliments that they were trying to all be the first to hand to him. But everyone wants to hedge themselves in public a little bit, to the point where, as Brock Purdy was engineering this very impressive start, what about Trey Lance is a thing that you heard from a big portion of the 49er fan base. And it's because Trey Lance was a first round pick, and that comes with expectations. Brock Purdy comes devoid of expectations. And now that he is over delivered on even the highest of expectations, nobody knows to see it. It's like, is this real? This can't be real. This can't be real. At no point in time have I ever gone to McDonald's and been served a 5A5 Japanese Wagyu steak. Like they don't serve those over here. But here I am. I'm at a McDonald's, but I'm eating the finest steak on the planet. Or the finest jerky on the planet, if I can work in the milieu of the show here.
This is all brisket, baby.
All brisket jerky.
Getting all brisket right now.
Eating jerky made out of squirrel. This is all brisket.
All gas, no brakes. It's all brisket.
It's such an unexpected starting point. How about this? If you walked into Walt Disney right now, if you walked into Disney and said, "I've got an idea for a movie. Here's the script," they'd say, well, make it more realistic. Like there's no way that starts like that. Like throw a little adversity in there. And so I guess you'd be like, all right, well, he'll hurt his elbow in the NFC title game and he'll get this off-season surgery that'll make people nervous, right? And it'll come back even better. Okay, let's go with that. Like is he elite? Jess, if this guy doesn't turn out to be elite, something funny happened on the way to the show. You know what I mean? Like, because the start certainly looks incredibly elite. He looks like he was designed to run Kyle Shanahan's system to Kyle's liking.
Yeah, I think that's the key right there. He's running exactly what Kyle wants. And I say this, it's too early to say elite and all that stuff. He's still a young quarterback. But what I'm seeing and what is making me very, very ecstatic is that we are seeing his game ascend. He is progressing instead of regressing like some quarterbacks do entering their second season, right? And he's getting better and better.
An improvement in sports is not linear. It will not continue only in that direction.
Right.
I'm here to tell you that Brock Purdy will and the 49ers will lose a football game this year. It's going to happen. Like, I could just feel it in my bones, So, watching the world instantly try to push the panic button when that happens will be delightful. I'm already preparing for that moment, knowing that it's coming. But
49ers Twitter is going to be on fire.
Ooh, doom and gloom.
To me, anything about sports should be a collection of data points. And Brock Purdy has assembled a collection of data points so early in his career, even his harshest critic has to be a bit more optimistic now than ever before. This looks fantastic. And I've always said that Kyle Shanahan, he wants a yes chef quarterback. Kyle, this is Kyle's kitchen. Yeah. And when he gives you an order, he just wants it done. Yes, chef. That's what he wants. And that's who Purdy is. And then when he has to go off menu, he's got enough squabble in him to do that. And that's what Kyle wants in his chef as well. He wants someone who follows house orders to a T, but then when something goes wrong, the kitchen doesn't get shut down. We can still keep on going. And that's what Purdy's represented so far.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree. I only have us losing twice. I have us going 15-2. So
hey, if you're selling me 15-2 right now, Jess, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy 15-2, and I'm going to tell everyone I will see you at Levi Stadium as the 1 seed, because the path, without a doubt, to Las Vegas would go through a 15-2 team in the NFC. I don't care who that team is. The Detroit Lions are 15-2. They're going to be hosting the NFC title game. If the Eagles are 15-2, they're going to do that. That's a real nice number. You give me 15-2, I would buy that right now.
All right. So I got a question from the chat. Who's the better defense going into this game, Niners or Dallas?
I'm going to say it's the 49ers only because I think that they've played a better pedigree. We have seen the New York Giants incapable of moving the football, and we watched the New England Patriots struggle in a way that the Cardinals, nor even with all of their offensive woes right now, the Steelers the Rams look really freaking good all of a sudden. Yeah. So I think that the 49ers, again, they're the best 4-0 in football, and I'm weighing their production against opponent quality. And I really think that the lack of sack totals that some people are trying to complain about are missing the trend that football's moving in. There's no such thing as a 7-step drop in this league. You rarely even see a 5-step drop in this league. It is 3rd step, ball out in under 3 seconds everywhere. That's how everybody's playing. Yep. So, whether or not we'll be making the argument, well, now defensive ends are overvalued, we're wasting money on them because they've been taken out of the flow of the game by the pace of the game. Watch that be a talking point at some point if football keeps going like this. But I do think that the Niners have just an outstanding defense. I love their talent. I love Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. I think Talanoa Hufanga is the single best player in football that people don't talk about every day. I mean, we could talk about Talanoa Hufanga every day, but he gets buried on the depth chart of things to talk about with the 49ers just based on how good the team is around them. So I love the Niners defensively. I think they're way ahead of schedule. And by the end of the year, that's when you want them peaking. And if they can stay healthy, I like them to do just that.
So you think they're gonna have some interceptions Sunday night?
Well, look, Dak is known to uncork one every now and then. Yeah, I mean, look, a defensive lineman could have an interception here because they are just collapsing pockets and they're putting paws in the air, and that's where tip drills come into play. So even though the 49ers have had a struggle or two with Ambry Thomas or Diamador Lenore or whoever you're worried about in this secondary, I like them. Again, I trust the Niners just about to the man, to the position. I think that Gibson's playing really well. Odom's playing well. I'm happy with what I'm seeing all the way around, and I'm trying to look for things to complain about. It's a boring show to just say, "Hey, everything's great. Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye bye." But
Even Devon Kinlaw's playing very well.
Oh, he's healthy. You can see the fact his knee's not barking at him for the first time in his life, maybe.
Yep.
And it's great to see it happen for a guy who's been, working very, very hard without the results to show for it. Now he's got them.
Dak ducks. That's what I call them. We need to see Dak ducks.
Dak ducks.
Dak ducks.
Duck, duck, dak.
Duck, dak. Go.
Dak ducks.
Your thoughts on the special teams, Damon?
Look, the only element of the special teams that I was really worried about is how's the rookie kicker going to look. And the rookie kicker looks like Robbie Gould. He hasn't missed. He's just not missing. So, what are we going to complain? He had the kickoff out of bounds.
Yep. That's your one complaint.
Let's clean that up. Clean that up. My list of things that I complained about after the Arizona game, I'm like, well, I don't like Ray McLeod taking that kickoff out of the end zone in the start the third quarter.
Yeah, I didn't either. Yeah.
But that's fast guys make that mistake all the you also want Ray McLeod taking the ball out of the end zone because he's Ray McLeod and he's fast enough to do that shit. So, I'm impressed by what we've seen in the limited punting we've seen Wishnowski do. I mean, they've been pinning guys, coughing corner guys,
he's been awesome.
Guys, the 5-yard line. So, I think it's how about this? It's the one phase of the game in all three phases, offense, defense, special teams. It's the one phase that I thought would be the least of the 49ers. I don't think special teams has taken a backseat to any other element of this team right now. They're playing really well.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I have to admit though, like when Jake Moody gets up there, same thing with Robbie Gould. Like I just kind of look elsewhere. Like I can't look at them making the kick. I don't know if it's just me. Like I can't do it.
Well, I did have some concerns with Jake Moody. The way he was missing things in preseason. I was like, is this a prelude of things to come with inconsistency? But I was just hoping they were working out some adjustments and trying new things. But he's come out. He's been perfect, and you can't ask for more than that.
One of my favorite things was someone trying to bring up the fact, well, he's kicking in front of all these people. He used to kick in Ann Arbor. That's the biggest.
He played at Michigan. Hello.
He's used to kicking in front of a big crowd, folks. That's really not it. Yeah, look, here's the thing. I don't care what you do unless the light is green. And the light only goes green when the coin is flipped. Game 1, coin toss. That's when things really start to matter. Now, obviously, like any practice, you want it to go well, but that's all it is. It's practice. Yeah. Preseason games are just, a football practice with a better agent. That's all a preseason game is. So, I think that we love to overreact. It's a lot easier to sell the negative than it is to illuminate the positive. And Bexy was missing his kicks. You don't like that. You have every right to not like a kicker missing kicks.
Oh, I didn't say I didn't like him. It was just my only concern.
And it was a legitimate concern. It was a legitimate concern. I'm less concerned now than I was in the preseason. I'll tell you that.
100%.
Yeah.
Right there with her.
Question from Bryant Culp. Last time the Niners went to the Super Bowl and was with a rookie kicker, Doug Bryan. Is Jake Moody the missing key? Full circle. Now, Brian Culp is all about kickers. He loves special teams.
Time is a flat circle, Brian. No, you're right about that. There's, as a matter of fact, print the T-shirts. It's over. Why even keep playing? The Niners are going to win the Super Bowl. There it is. We got it.
We got Moody, kicker, and they don't.
He's
the key.
Kicker. So it was Robbie Gould that was really holding this team back. Is what you're saying. Fucking Robbie, all those years. You're like, oh, he's a veteran. No, what you need in here is a rookie for time to be a flat circle.
Oh, man. All right. So Sunday night, what do we do to get this W?
You take care of Tony Pollard. I mean, is when he got hurt in the NFC playoff game in the divisional last year, the Cowboys went quickly. Make sure that you get your, a helmet on a helmet, open up some lanes for Christian McCaffrey. The team that wins this game on the ground will be the team that wins the game. Avoid the turnover that this team has been avoiding all season so far. Avoid that turnover. Don't let Dallas steal an extra possession with that turnover or some bullshit razzle dazzle punt fake or something like that. So just be red alert for any and all shenanigans and just play straight up football. I think the 49ers are better than the Cowboys. And I think the Cowboys are good, but I think the 49ers are better. I think that they're healthier right now. I think that they're better coached. They're at home. They're hot. I like their chances an awful lot. James Conner really put it on the Cowboys in that Arizona win by just going off tackle. And if that's how James Conner can get off on the Cowboys, I think I like, Christian McCaffrey running off of Trent Williams. I like that. I like that matchup. So keep an eye on Micah Parsons. That guy is insane. Keep an eye on him no matter where he is. He could be coming from anywhere. He could be blitzing from the upper deck. You no idea where he's coming from. So keep an eye on him. That's a red alert and just handle your business. I mean, I think that this is how about that? I want the Niners to go undefeated at home. Okay. Go undefeated at home. Be the team that doesn't lose at home. That feels like a really nice way to get to a Super Bowl this year if you're the Niners, especially if you are the 15-2 Niners that you suggest. So,
right.
Just win at home. Just be nasty at home. That's I like them. And again, look, you just put up 35 points with Kittle having one catch and Debo having none. You spread that ball around, and I just think that they're you never know where it's coming from. And Kyle runs them wide open. So until the Niners give me a reason to doubt them, I don't doubt them winning any game they're in right now.
Okay. Follow-up from Brian. Robbie Gold replaced Doug Bryan in Chicago. Jake Moody replaced Robbie. Shirts are in process.
There it is.
Brian has the formula. He's got
it. I'm placing my bet in Vegas right now.
Totally. As a matter of fact, I got to go. I got to call my bookie right now.
Hit up the bookie, right?
I got an inside track that no one else is even considering. All the sharps are on rookie kickers, I heard.
Will you be at the game Sunday night or no?
No, I am not going to be at the game Sunday night. I do detest Levi's Stadium. I don't like her. It's a pain in the rear end to go to Levi's. Okay, Jack, hold on. My 4-year-old son is joining us for just a moment here.
Right.
Jack,
hi,
honey, I love you. Thank you very much, Jackie. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome home. There he is. He's excited.
He's pumped.
Hey, Jack.
There we go. I think we're in the right company to have a 4-year-old crash the party. We're going to be okay. Yeah. But no. So Levi Stadium, it's I actually feel that I do a better job covering a football game from my own couch. Now, obviously, you don't get the access, and I like to go down and be around, the team during training camp for a little while, maybe a media session or two. Just to poke around the facility. But from a game standpoint, just having my clicker in my hand, I think makes me a better post-game host. And I, because of YouTube, am now going live at the 2-minute warning of the fourth quarter. So I've got my own sponsors to appease and a show to do. Mm-hmm. And I have to look at things a little bit differently now that I'm over in the digital space on YouTube. So I got to watch the game from home. And I actually have always believed that I am a better host if I can prepare with a clicker in my hand, because I got to jog back and I got to see some things that if you're watching it in real time in a press box, you might miss it. Football really is. It's a television sport. It's fun to be a part of a crowd. It's fun to, be with fans and rooting for your team, but to cover a game, I find myself doing even better at home. So I will be home this Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, I will be there.
You are going to be there. Well, have a great time. Have a great time. If you're staying anywhere in San Francisco, unfortunately, Levi Stadium is nowhere near San Francisco. So, you should stay in San Jose probably. But that's again, this is an argument that I've been making for many, many years. I need to stop.
All right, so I got 2 more for you. What is your score? What is your score prediction? What is your prediction for the rest of the season? Wins and losses.
I mean, I always avoid that conversation because it's just what if I told you Brock Purdy got hit by a bus tomorrow? I never really have been in the, let me tell you where I think this is all going, but I do believe that the Niners are a 12-win football team.
Okay.
They're a 12-win football team, and let's see if they can't go north of that to 13 to 14. And then again, if you, as you suggest, you get to 15, well, now you're money in the bank to be the 1 seed. I really believe that. At 13 wins, you're hosting a playoff game. At 14 wins, maybe you won the conference. Maybe you're hosting a playoff game at 14. We have to still see what Philadelphia and whoever the other upstart in the NFC is going to be. Is it going to be the Lions? Is it going to be, the Falcons turning things around and showing us that they're better than they've started off so far this year? Who else is going to join the party? Is anyone in this conference going to also join the party? And again, the price of admission to a 1 seed sounds like it starts at about 12 wins. So I'd like to see the Niners at 12, 13 wins. Anything more than that feels like gravy to me. Anything less than that could be a disappointment. So I'm going with 12.
Okay. That's fair. I respect that. All right. It's not my 15, but it's all right.
It's not, but again, there's a part of me that's always waiting for the thing that goes wrong.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy to see 15 wins when you're standing on the diving board of 4-0, right? I mean, it's like we're at the front of the Titanic together and everything's beautiful. The sun is setting and Leo and Kate are about to go have sex in that old Model T in cargo. They haven't seen the iceberg yet. If you, what's the iceberg going to be? But right now, yes, we were at the front of the Titanic doing this. It's I see 15 wins from here too. But there's an iceberg out there, and I bet you at some point in time they fucking hit it because that's football.
So Damon, in years past, you know how we would start out, we would do really well in the first half, and then the second half, you just watch the team, just let everyone come back. And I used to call that watching the Titanic sink. Like, here we go. We're taking on water in the second half. There she goes. She's leaning. and I used to say the same thing, that we were the Titanic. But this year we're not seeing that. We're not seeing that.
No listing, no nothing.
None of that. None of that. We are gliding through. So I'm over here taking
fun fact, the Titanic actually sunk on my birthday.
Oh. So it's your fault.
This conversation is going really weird places. I missed the candlestick dirt.
Yeah, right.
Shaking the dirt.
All right. So I was watching your stream this afternoon, and I wish every 49ers faithful listened to you. I really do.
That's too nice.
Because you speak the truth. And I love when people speak the truth.
Tell it like it is.
Too many fans and content creators are stuck in the past. And they don't want to enjoy what is presently in front of them. We have a QB1. We have the best roster in football. And we're currently 4-0. What do you have to say to those fans and those content creators who are stuck in the past?
It's a 14-game regular season winning streak. Only your grandfather ever had it this good. Why are you complaining so much? Oh, no, wait. I know why you're complaining so much. It's because you have no sense of history. You have no maturity. You're not used to covering football. This is new to you. And you don't know what you're looking at. There are people out there who are trying to be firsthand eyewitnesses to shit that they don't even understand what they're looking at. It's a 14-game regular season winning streak. Kyle's not on a hot seat. At no point in time before he got his extension was he on a hot seat.
Exactly.
I mean, if you can't recognize what really good football looks like when you get to see it, and like I said, really good football, incredible, awesome, best in the NFL football is lucky to go 3-1 over any 4-game stretch. This league is built to eviscerate success. This league destroys success faster than any other league in the world. So to maintain any element of consistency over multiple seasons, over 4 straight quarters, over a month, much less Kyle's 7th year now, is really difficult to do. And when you have someone who makes the difficult turn into the unappreciated, you better realize you have it good, because most NFL fans would kill for 49er problems.
Yeah.
It's the truth. It's the truth. I have seen enough bad 49er teams in my day covering this team to know what those look like. Those and this don't look anything alike, so have some appreciation for what you're seeing. Have a little respect for how difficult success is. Everyone is a genius 3 years after the NFL draft.
Right.
Hindsight is 20/20 in sports. Drafting is an inexact science. A really good coach can have a really bad day. Great quarterbacks can have shitty afternoons. This all happens. So when a whole bunch of that continues to not happen for the 49ers, you should recognize that this is not only not bad, this is great. Like, this is great. The only thing Kyle hasn't done, is host a Lombardi Trophy. Hoist one. That's it. There's one thing left for him to do. Mm-hmm. And remember, Phil Mickelson was the best golfer who's never won a major until he did. Mm-hmm. Andy Reid was the best coach who never won a Super Bowl until he did. I think that's how we're going to be regarding Kyle in the next couple of years here. They really have a special window with Brock Purdy and the financials that are allowed around him due to his infinitesimal in relationship to starting quarterback salaries. The Niners have a 2-year window. It's this year and next year to win a championship as they're currently constructed. After those 2 years, you're gonna have to bring in a whole new 49er economy of how to build the team. Yeah. So they get this financial structure for this season and next season. And honestly, the pressure should be on. The pressure should be felt by everyone. They need to win a Super Bowl this year or next year. They need to win a Super Bowl this year or next year. Or what? Or what? Is Kyle fired if he doesn't? No, that's not what I'm saying. But the chance to win it built like this is this year or next year. And after that, it's going to be forget about a whole new experiment. You're going to have to go to a whole new laboratory. But I'm keeping the scientist because he knows what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I was just going to circle back on that. The contract extension, it happened a couple of months before it was even announced.
Yeah.
So, there used to be the leaky spot in the organization where things would leak out about different things. And you have none of that going on. They extended them. That was a big deal that was kept a very, very well kept secret for the organization. So, I do agree that we extended him because everyone knows he's good. And we have this conversation on here all the time. Without Kyle, who are you gonna get? And he's doing great things.
Whether he wins a Super Bowl or not.
Right.
Whether Kyle wins a Super Bowl or not, he will be, when it is said and done, the longest tenured and winningest 49ers head coach in team history. That's who he is.
I agree with you. I think he's that kind of talent. Yes, 100%.
I mean, when you think about it, he's got an audience of one, and that one person is Jed York. Mm-hmm. And after everything Jed York did and all the clamshells that he flipped over looking for his next head coach, he's finally got one, and he's there's no way he's got an ego or is dumb enough to let this guy walk away.
And lockstep, John Lynch too. You know, they seem to have this really, really great rapport, and with working well together, and that's also sometimes hard to find. They don't seem to have any sort of ego with one another, and really, really trust each other's opinions. So, you know, keeping those two together is really going to extend, I think, the magic, the window.
I agree, and I've watched. You know, and this is an extreme example, obviously, with all the success that the Warriors have had. But between Steve Kerr and their former general manager, Bob Myers, I just watched a healthy relationship between coach and GM just foster so much goodwill around a franchise that I think it directly helped the Warriors win more than they might have had their GM and head coach been at odds on anything. You know, so to have a little harmony, a little partnership, it's hard to find. So when you have it, acknowledge it, appreciate it, and in the Niners case, extend it, because you want to keep
exactly lock it up.
Yeah, you lock it down.
Lock it down. Lock it down like a corner. Lock it down.
Exactly. Lock it down.
The legend Damon Bruce.
Crowd goes wild.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can we do this again sometime?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
can you tell everybody where they could find you?
Damon Bruce Plus, the Plus, Damon Bruce Plus. Follow me over there. Subscribe, please. Again, the podcast just went over 100,000 downloads. I'm so appreciative of that. Subscribe to the podcast. And click on that channel. Like, subscribe. I've already picked up a few while we've been talking. I'm just sitting here. Boom, there it is. Oh, look at that. Nice. We're one away from 8,100. It's a humble start, but you know, when we get to 1 billion someday, I'm going to remember this show specifically. I really, when Mr. Beast is worried about me, I'm going to tell them, well, I appeared on the East Coast, red and gold, and after that, it was just hockey stick level success. So
when we're 15-2, you'll have to come back on.
I will absolutely at 15-2. I'm 100% coming. At 15-2, I'm buying drinks. How about that?
I will hold you to that.
See you at the playoff game.
I will have Drizzly deliver bottles of liquor to your locations, and we will sit back and we'll take shots together at 15-2. Let me tell you, that's what's going to happen. So thank you so much for having me. It was an absolute pleasure. And good to be talking to everyone back on the East Coast again.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thanks so much. We'll do this again for sure.
100%.
All right, take care. The great Damon Bruce.
Oh, he's so fun.
Yeah.
Well animated always.
Yes, that was fun. All right, so guys, let's talk a little 49ers, shall we?
Let's do it.
What were your thoughts on the Cardinals game, Ty?
I loved it. Other than that 99-yard drive,
yeah,
I loved it. It was a game we were clicking on all cylinders, and Damon just talked about the greatness of Kyle and what he's doing in that game. If you notice, Kyle only featured 2 people on offense. He just used 2 of his pieces and still put up 35 points. Like, how awesome is that? To be like, all right, I'm only going to use these 2 guys today and still be able to put up that many points. An incredible performance, right? It also lets me know that in that NFC Championship game, he had something. Ooh, he would have cooked that. Ooh,
we would have blister.
Yeah. Same defensive coordinator running that same defense. He had something for him.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I feel real good about the game. Defense did their thing. We had little snafus here and there. Of course, Ambry Thomas was on the field, and he gave up some plays, but we'll adjust to that. But overall, it was a great game. I mean, anytime you win 35-16, you score 5 touchdowns. We weren't kicking field goals. We were scoring touchdowns. That's a great day.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that game.
Mm-hmm.
To win 35-16, everything was clicking. I'm in awe of the offense.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they keep it up. I think we definitely will against Dallas. But it's so nice to have things clicking on that side of the ball, like on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really loved it. I mean, the defense, for once, the offense, I feel carried the defense, but the defense still took care of what they needed to.
But it's funny we say that, but they still only gave up 15 points.
That's true.
Right?
That's and that was going to be my next thing. But they only gave up 15 points.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, but like I said, all sides are clicking, and I'm excited for this Dallas game. I really am. Go ahead, Becca.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I agree on the offense. Offense was doing their thing. They worked all the magic and really didn't pull very many tools out of the toolbox to do it. I was a little concerned with the defense because if you look at the time of possession, they actually had the ball longer than we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yardage, very close, within a couple, like 30 yards of one another. Rushing, everything is very, very parallel in terms of the stats and the numbers. And I would just say this: I think the defense recognized that and fell on their sword, which give them credit for that because they understand they can't do that next week. You can't give Dallas all those opportunities to move the ball, have that kind of time of possession, and expect to have the same outcome next week. I mean, I think that you saw that in the Cardinals game. They got in the red zone 5 times and scored once on the Cardinals. I don't think that's going to happen every time Dallas takes the field. And if we give them half the time on the clock and all those chances and possessions to get down the field, it's not going to be a blowout. So, and yes, that is exactly it, David. Ayuk is on fire. He is out to prove that he is big money worthy for a contract year, and he's firing on all cylinders. He's Brock Purdy's favorite receiver, and there's, I love it. I love that he's on the field all the time. But, I'm happy we won. I'm happy it was a big win. I thought the defense was giving up quite a lot. And when, we were better than that, we should not have given up all those yards. And we didn't give up a lot of penalties this time, which I was happy about. Yeah, I think we have to clean up some of that time of possession stuff for this coming week. But, always a good win. It's always the team that we talked about it. The divisional teams, they're always threats. You never know when the 1-win Cardinals are going to walk in and whoop your behind. And you're just like, why? How did that happen? But, to get a win in the division, it's a good win any day.
Exactly. A win.
Yeah, 2-0 in the division. I'll take it.
Exactly.
Chris P says, as much as I love seeing CMC run all over and score 4 touchdowns, do you think he got hit too much? To be honest, he's either going to, something will happen with 7 carries or 17 carries.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone says that he's being used too much. But I don't think so. I think it's just, how the game is going. I don't want to use that I word. I don't know. I don't think you have your candlestick dirt with you, do you?
We do not have the candlestick dirt.
Oh my God.
Oh, bad juju.
That should be your traveling buddy by now.
Exactly, yeah.
To keep it in the bag, right?
Right.
It goes where you go.
I'll shake it when I get home.
Okay. So, I just think, something, he'll get hit at 7 carries, he'll get hit at 17 carries, so regardless of how many times he touches the ball, he's still going to get hit, in my opinion. What do you guys think?
Yeah, yes, I agree with you 100% there. And the wardrobe, the equipment malfunction, as I say, can happen at any moment.
Right.
Right. But in looking at this last game, if you notice, he didn't take a lot of big hits. There weren't a lot of smack hits on him. Like, it was kind of a lot of drag downs on him and things like that. So he didn't get a lot of wear and tear like most backs would get. I mean, we were gashing him in the O line. He was getting tackled by the linebackers in the backs, which is much better than linemen. So wasn't so much wear and tear on him. So from that standpoint, I'm sure he's okay. We did come off the long week since we had that mini bye after playing the Giants. So I'm sure he felt fresh and was ready to go. So that helped him. So I'm okay with the way he was used. And you saw at the end of the game, when we had that thing in hand, Jordan Mason was out there.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle pulled him, said, all right, you're done. Let somebody else run the rock. And that's what we want to see. Like, when the game's in hand, let him rest. And he did that. So I'm okay with the way he was used.
Yeah, Kylie Young, I did like the little I saw from Mason. Ran hard and had a nice Texas route out the backfield for a catch. Yep.
Exactly. That was a CMC route too. Like,
yep.
He was just calling plays. All right, we're going to run to the running back and to number 11. That was Kyle.
It was pretty much the whole day. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you really go back and take a look at that game closely, he kind of ran the same play over and over again, and they couldn't stop it.
And they couldn't do anything. Yeah.
That over route to Ayuk, when he's just running up and crossing the field, he ran that like 5 times just out of a different formation and different motions, and they couldn't stop it at all.
That's my coach.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious the way he was like just picking on them at that point.
Becca, we have some David McNider, some advice for you.
Wear it in the necklace.
Oh,
your candlestick dirt.
That's a great idea. I might have to get one of those little stand in a necklace. What's in your necklace? Dirt. I wear a little dirt.
I know, right?
Little dirt around my neck. Don't worry about
from
it.
a rubbled site.
Magic. That's what's in this necklace. Magic. I like it. Go. I might have to work on that.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea.
It is.
Quality. All right, so Raphael wants to know whose number 11 will play better on Sunday. Our Brandon Ayuk or their Micah Parsons?
I'm going to say ours. Just from the simple fact that we haven't seen anyone on their team that can cover our number 11. Even when they had their best corner healthy, he's out for the season.
Right, he's out.
He couldn't cover him. So that makes me believe him. And our O-line is playing a lot better than people give him credit for. I mean, that was a real clean game for Brock Purdy on Sunday, except for that one spin move that
left McKivitz.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Other than that, Brock Purdy had a nice big clean pocket. So I like what I'm seeing. So I'm picking Ayuk.
Yeah, I am too. I am too. I think we'll have a game plan for Micah Parsons. I do. I think, somebody will be spying and keeping an eye on him.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to. That's just the bottom line. So I think, Parsons might have a decent day, but I think Brandon Ayuk is just so hot right now. He's Purdy's favorite receiver. There's no way he's not going to have a great game.
And his route running is lethal.
It's so good. Yeah.
We've been talking about this since we started this show.
Yes.
How lethal it is. And he's only getting better and better at it.
Yeah.
I mean, he picked on that number 34 or something terrible.
I know.
that guy. I don't see. Ooh.
That guy stuck to the ground.
After a while, it was kind of
that one DB fell and was just on the ground, right?
Yeah, he was
one corner. He flipped him around, and he was 8 yards away from him. Like he had no idea where Ayuk was. It was insane.
All right. So John V said the Wilkes experience is rearing itself, and it's okay. I think he'll get used to having all this talent, and better adjustments will come. Your thoughts, Becca?
Go ahead, Becca. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think, there's always an adjustment period. And I think we're seeing that a little bit with the defense. We mentioned earlier the holdout and some of those things, and changing defensive coordinators and their preference for the way plays get played and how you handle things, and just the way you defend certain looks. I think that's always going to take a few weeks. And part of the reason I'm pleasantly surprised we're 4-0. All these adjustments are difficult for teams to do, and to come out and be 4-0. I think it's amazing. I mean, I think Steve Wilkes will have a great plan for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't discount that at all. I think absolutely they're going to continue to make adjustments and get better and become more cohesive as the season goes on. These guys are all about the business. They're all about winning, and everyone is, dedicated to the task. So yeah, I'm right there with it.
And I think this is the game that definitely gets it done. The adjustments, that's like the one thing that I really like, is that adjustments are made in game. With Robert Saleh, we didn't really see that too much. D'Amico Ryans made the adjustments.
Yeah.
But with Coach Wilkes, I think we definitely do see the in-game adjustments for sure. And you're right. It'll just get better. And I just, I think with the Dallas game, I think he'll be ready to go.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Ty.
I agree with that. I've seen the adjustments too, and one thing I noticed is Wilkes has been kind of taking a boxer's approach to it. Like he'll kind of, play his base defense and feel out how things are going, a certain way, and then like at halftime he'll adjust. He'll make this big adjustment. Like, all right, enough. I know what they're going to do. I got this, and then make this big adjustment, and then we kind of lock things down in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what I'm looking for is for him to come out and start swinging right as the game starts. Right. Let the defense attack a little bit more. Right. Punch them in the mouth a little bit more on defense, and then make a little bit of an adjustment here and there, but kind of set the tone on defense early. Let them know this is how it's going down, and then continue to dominate, instead of taking that sit back, wait and see approach. But he is doing a good job. I mean, in that third quarter on Sunday, when the Cardinals were driving again and we needed to make a stop, we needed to get them off the field, the team responded. Made the stop, got them off the field, made that critical stop on 2nd and 10, which made it 3rd and 10. Boom, got him errant pass on 3rd and 10, got him off the field. They had to punt, and we just took over. That was the end of the game right there. So the defense made the stand that needed to be made and got the job done. So I just want to see that earlier, like set that tone a bit earlier, get them off the field, and let's take control like early in the game.
Well, we know that good pressures when Dak throws ducks. So
Dak's ducks.
Dak's
I
ducks.
think Wilson is still playing with his personnel a bit. Like, does he want Lenore on the inside and Ambry Thomas on the outside, or does he want her on the inside and Lenore just stay on the outside? Like, he's still figuring those things out, and like when to go to his 5-man front versus just rotating the whole defensive line. He's still doing a lot of that. And remember, like I it dawned on me, like none of these players played in the preseason, right? So this is kind of like their 4th preseason game. they're all getting into the flow, really. And as a coach with your prime players, you're getting into the flow too.
Yeah.
So for him, he's just like getting his mojo, like, and you heard him saying it, like, I never had this kind of talent before. This is wild to see. So he's like, all right, how do I use it?
Right.
How do I use it effectively for 60 minutes? He's like still learning on the fly and adjusting. And so far, so good.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Hey, a win's a win, right? I mean,
Exactly.
we'd like them to be pretty all the time, but
We do. But even a hard fought game like the Rams game, where it was like, all right, they're moving the ball too much, and then he makes the adjustment in the second half, and next you know, we shut him down, we get the pick and all this stuff. It's like, okay, that's what we want to see. That right there.
yeah.
Right. I like Jimbo's comment. Coach Wilkes is patient, but he'll change up when he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Definitely agree with that. John V, have some faith. It will be okay, John V. It will be okay.
When Ambry's out there, they tend to pick on him a bit. They're like,
yeah, they do. They do. But he'll come around. He'll come around just like last year. I was on the Lenore train, quite a bit. And, Lenore came around. I think Ambry Thomas will come around as well. Steve-O says 4-0, Bosa not done much. He may not have the sack numbers, but as far as the hurries, the quarterback hits,
and
the pressures, right. I think he's definitely winning in that sense.
he's affecting things out there.
Right.
The run game, he's as solid as ever. No one's talking about that. His contributions in the run game. He's as solid as ever. And he's getting pressure. He would have had a sack. It's funny, he would have had a sack on Sunday, but Hargrave tripped him up on the way to the quarterback and held him up, falling and hitting the guy late. And it was like, oh, that could have been a sack. He got, clipped by his own man.
Right.
But that happens. But the line overall is getting pressure. They are affecting the quarterback. Making a quarterback throw early or get happy feet or throw high and have an errant pass, to me, that's just as good as a sack. You're affecting him, right? Making him uncomfortable, which leads to bad play. So I'm going to take that. The sacks are going to come, but for right now, keep on doing what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys have been awesome. Some new faces in there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we're just here to talk 49ers football every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Becca, were you going to say something?
I just said Dax Ducks. Pressure. Dax Ducks. What we need.
That's all I'm going to remember on Sunday. Dax Ducks.
Yep. Quack, quack.
I'll have the clacker. We'll make all the noise.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
It's a good tool.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Definitely should be a fun time. All right. So to close out, who are your X factors for this game Sunday night?
Ooh, Becca, go first.
For this Sunday, X factors. I mean, it's definitely going to be the Bosas of the world. Pressure on Dak, getting him off rhythm, and making him throw up those picks. Turnovers, big key to winning. I think Christian McCaffrey, obviously running all over, are going to be a big deal. But I think we see a lot more Debo, and we see a lot more of your boy getting in the mix too, because they're going to try and shut down Christian McCaffrey. They're going to do everything they can. And whoever's covering Micah Parsons, I think that's the other X factor. They got to make sure Micah is under control.
My X factors are Javon Hargrave and George Kittle.
Why are we not surprised on that?
What?
Good things happen. And I will continue to say this every single show. Good things happen when the ball's in George Kittle's hands.
Right.
And it's the truth. And Javon Hargrave, he's silently been having an awesome season.
Amazing.
And I just see him really coming to life with, and locking down Tony Pollard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was going to go say both DTs, Hargrave and Armstead. Mm-hmm. I think that pressure in the middle going to be what's most effective. I can see them drawing attention to the outsides because, like we just said, Bosa's been getting close.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want him to get close, right?
Yeah.
So that'll affect things up the middle. On offense, man, it's
okay to choose my boy.
so much pick your poison. But you know what? I feel that because he's been so quiet, that this is a George Kittle week.
Mm-hmm.
It's a George Kittle week. Kyle's gonna be like, all right, 85. I got you. I got you.
Dial them up.
Be ready. Just be ready. They're gonna focus on the outsides,
Yeah.
and it's gonna leave the middle wide open.
Kittle over the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Can't go wrong there. That's right.
Yep.
All right. So if you guys don't have anything else, let's go to our hurry up offense and the 2-minute warning.
And we're off.
Go ahead, Ty.
Hey, 4-0. So right now, all of our season predictions are looking really good.
Yes. 100%.
Because I said 20-0. So I'm looking real good right now. I should take that to Vegas.
You should.
But this has been a fun ride. A lot of people like to look back at 2019, as we talked about earlier. But this team is looking way better than we did in 2019. And you should all just kind of sit back and enjoy the magic that's happening right now, because it's really something truly special that's going on. You're seeing records being broken. You're seeing guys do amazing things. So enjoy this.
Go ahead, Becca.
Exactly that, Ty. Records are falling left and right, whether it's Purdy or CMC. Everybody's doing something that's just slashing records that have been standing forever. So congrats to all the players out there killing it. RIP to Russ Francis, and condolences to his family. He passed away, former 49er. And yeah, let's look forward to some Dax Ducks. I think we're going to win this week. I always think we're going to win. So. But I'm looking forward to it. Jess and I'll be at the game. So go Niners, and let's get this win.
The legend, Damon Bruce, thank you so much for joining us. It was fun. We look forward to doing this again. Guys, enjoy the ride. I mean, we're sitting 4-0. We're playing the Cowboys. Sunday night football, home at Levi Stadium. Crowd's going to be rocking. Just enjoy it. And as always, go Niners. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And we appreciate every single one of you.
Indeed.
Yes, indeed.
So we're back next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Don't forget.
Exactly. Join us. We'll see you then.
Tell a friend.
With the candlestick dirt.
Yes. We'll see you then, guys.
And of course, for the upstart 49ers, they're 6 yards away from Pontiac. 3rd and 3.
We'll see a pickup sometime on the right side.